everyone, I'm Jeff Suddaby, and welcome to Who's Coming for Dinner? Salmon. Most people like salmon. I certainly enjoy it. But some of the questions are, is it farm or is it wild? Not even sure what the difference is, but I'm going to talk about that. Does it come from the Pacific or does it come from the Atlantic? What is better? We're going to talk about that as well. But you know what? The true thing about salmon is that it's so versatile because we can bake it, we can grill it, we can poach it. You know what? We can even smoke it, which makes it such a unique, neat fish. All right, today what I'm going to do is pan-sear it, and I'm going to wrap it up in some coconut and lime pancakes. Sounds kind of interesting, doesn't it? Going to serve it with some grilled pineapple, some mixed greens, and shaved coconut. So stay with me. When we come back, we're getting ready to work with some salmon.
This program is brought to you by Frigidaire, making life easier.
Located 2 hours north of Toronto, Parry Sound is ready to show you why they are world-renowned as the jewel of the 30,000 islands on Georgian Bay. Whether your pleasure is serene to extreme, Parry Sound delivers what you're looking for. Log on to www.gbcountry.com and plan your adventure today. Parry Sound, an all-star destination in every season.
Kleenex Ultra Soft Tissues have 3 germ-blocking layers, so you can share a moment, not your germs. Thank goodness for Kleenex Tissue.
Looking for a fresh start? Time for a change? You're just a click away with Working.com, Canada's fastest growing career site. Working.com, for jobs, careers, and advice. What do you want to do?
Hey, Toronto, how are you keeping healthy?
Who wants to be a couch potato when there's so much to do and see?
Sure, there are places that are too far to walk, but there are many places that are too close to drive.
I quit smoking a year ago, for his health too.
Taking the stairs at work is a great way to be active. It's simple and it works.
Being active in the morning gears me up for the day.
I'm hungry. I want something fast. Fast, huh?
To find out more, call 416-338-5656.
When you're looking for that one perfect gift for that one special person, it helps to know the people who know diamonds. With a stunning selection to choose from, you know you'll find just the perfect one for her. The Mappin's Forever Collection, with 3 special diamonds for your past, your present, and your future. Starting at just $4.99. Exclusively at Mappin's, fine jewelers since 1935.
Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to Who's Coming for Dinner. All right, salmon. It's such a versatile fish, and it's so available in our grocery stores. And I think that most people like salmon. I have a restaurant where we serve a lot of fish, and the #1 fish that we serve is salmon. So with that, at the top of the show, I talked about, where does it come from? We talked about, the Pacific or the Atlantic. And really, it depends if we're talking about farm fish or wild fish. What is the difference? You all set? Here we go. Farm fish is where, usually in the Pacific or the Atlantic, either or, what they do is they breed these fish and they have them inside of the ocean, but they are caged in so that they can't swim away. And they feed them. They actually farm raise the salmon, okay? Anything wrong with that product? Certainly not, okay? Then there are the wild salmon, which usually comes out of the Pacific side. And they are the salmon that are swimming out in the Pacific all on their own. But there are seasons for wild salmon, just like, when we all talk about fishing seasons and so forth. Fishing season, it goes into from about the 1st of July into about the middle of November. So during that period, you'll see in your grocery stores where we have wild salmon. Is it more money? Yes, of course it is. Because it's wild. You know, the guys are out in the ocean, they're fishing these things, compared to being farmed. The flavor, the wild salmon, I think, has a superior flavor to it. It's a little bit leaner, okay? Because they're moving all the time compared to the ones that are farmed. So the farm fish are a little bit fattier. And once again, if they're fattier, they sometimes have a little bit more flavor because of the fat that's going to come through it. But in the wild salmon case, you know, it's outstanding. It has great flavor and it's natural. So today we're going to use some wild salmon. Okay, so we're going to get into our coconut and lime pancakes. Kind of a different type of a pancake, but very, very good. They're more like a crepe. I call them pancakes, but you know, they really are more like a crepe. Very, very simple. There's only 4 or 5 ingredients. And what I'm going to do is I have some all-purpose flour. Now, you could use whole wheat flour for this, but unfortunately, they're going to turn them brown. And in this case, I want to keep them white if I can. So I have some sifted flour. I'm going to add a little bit of salt to it. There we go. A little bit of lime juice, obviously. In it goes. Now, one of the secrets to this is don't stir it until all your liquid is combined with the flour. Because if you start stirring it early, it's going to start to clump on you. 1 egg. Here we go. It's in there. Now, light coconut milk. It's the one I like to use. I'm sure Sarah will talk about it a little bit later because there's regular coconut milk and light coconut milk. Personally, I can't tell the difference between the flavors, so I use the light. Okay, so what I'm going to do is stir this right up. And you can see it. Here it comes together. No lumps, but if I started to stir it too early, I'm going to get lumps and all kinds of problems in this, and that's not what I'm looking for. Okay, there's our pancake batter. Pretty straightforward, isn't it? Okay. Now, one of the things I want to do with the salmon is I'm going to pan-sear it. And once I pan-sear it, what I'm going to do is take my crepes, or my pancakes, I should say, and I'm going to wrap it right around. And then I'm going to finish it into the oven and let it roast just a little bit to ensure that the fish is cooked. Now, I have fairly small portions of fish. You can see that they're only about 2 to 3 ounces. But the reason for that is because I want the crepes to be wrapped right around. So, you know, that person with the big appetite, you could serve 2 pieces with. Or, as I'm sure Sarah will tell us, we should be eating only about 3 or 4 ounces per day. Okay, so with that, I'm just going to take a touch of oil. Here we go. Now, we'll see how these work. And I need a ladle. Now, you have to have your pan hot, hot, hot. What will happen is that they will stick. So let's see if they stick. Here we go. So once you pump them in, shake them all up a little bit. Don't worry if it starts to break apart a little bit. See the holes? That's all right as well. So we'll let that go just for a second. They'll cook very, very quickly. And how do you tell when they're ready to turn? Well, as I shake this, you can see, hopefully the camera can pick that up, is, see the liquid on the top? If I try to flip that too early, it's going to go everywhere on me and probably break in half. But once I start to see it firming up on the top, can you see that? It's firming right up. Should be ready to go. So when you're flipping, let's see if I can do it. Here we go. Right over the top, just like that. So our little pancake, right now it's ready. So what I'm going to do is just set it right down on here. Oh, look at it, folded in half. It's so hot. Because we want them to cool so that once the fish has been pan-seared, I can actually roll them up. Because right now they're too hot to handle. So I'm going to add just a little touch of oil again. I'm going to try one more just to see if it sticks. Or if I can flip it. So what I'm going to do is throw the batter in, shake it up a little bit so it starts to separate. Okay, here we go. We'll let it sit just for 1 second. Now, once again, remember what I said. The batter on the top has to start to get firm, just like that. You can see it's still wet, too early to turn it. You can see that as I move it over. It's starting to firm up. I'm gonna give it a little scrape. Here we go. I'm gonna go for a break. When I come back, we'll see if I flip this okay. So stay with me, we'll be right back.
Salmon wrapped in pancakes, yummy. But we want to keep our fat to a minimum, right, for heart health. So these pancakes were fried in a little bit of olive oil. Olive oil is a good fat, but the least amount we have to use for flavor, that's what we want to do when we're home. Coconut milk is highly saturated. Even though Jeff used the light coconut milk, he reduced the saturated fat content. But at home, if I was making this recipe, I would use half light coconut milk and 1% milk fat to reduce the saturated fat, and it'll still be just as delicious. Enjoy.
Closed captioning brought to you by the Ontario Sheep Marketing Agency.
Taste too strong. Taste too strong. New cherry flavor Fisherman's Friend. It works, and you can't beat the taste.
When you're looking for that one perfect gift for that one special person, it helps to know the people who know diamonds. With a stunning selection to choose from, you know you'll find just the perfect one for her. The Mappin's Forever Collection, with 3 special diamonds for your past, your present, and your future. Starting at just $4.99. Exclusively at Mappin's, fine jewelers since 1935.
Titled after his television cooking show, Who's Coming for Dinner, Jeff Suddaby introduces his new cookbook featuring his popular lifestyle cooking. The recipes are robust, refreshing, and realistic for today's cook on the go. Who's Coming for Dinner, the cookbook, is for the seasoned cook and novice alike, presenting flavors that are contemporary while offering a new twist on traditional dishes. To purchase your copy, call 1-800-805-1182 or visit Canada.com, search word eStore.
Everyday exotic. Kahlua.
Who's coming for dinner? We are preparing salmon. Now, we have our wild salmon right here. It's time to give it a little pan sear. I finished during the commercial break my coconut lime pancakes. They're all set to go. There they are. So with that, I have to make up, I've got to pan sear my salmon. And what I want to do is I have some red hot, fresh chili peppers. And I've diced them all up. And the reason for that is because what I want to do is with the red curry that I'm going to add to this, it's pretty mellow. Even though we call it curry, we're adding the light coconut milk to our sauce as well. So it mellows it out. So what I want to do is pan sear the salmon with the fresh red chilies. So with that, I'm just going to take a touch of oil and let that pan heat up a little bit. So I'll turn that burner on as well. So we'll come back to this. I'm just going to let it heat up, make sure it's all set, ready to pan sear. So now down here, I have to make a little bit of a curry paste. The reason for that is because I'm going to, when I put my curry sauce together, I'm going to use some vegetable stock, a little bit of sugar, some light coconut milk, some cilantro, and lime juice. And I'm going to let it reduce down so it's going to have a nice creamy texture to it. So if I try to add all these dried products to it, I'm in trouble, because what's going to happen is they're going to clump a little bit. So what I like to do is make a little bit of a paste. So what I have, this is a simple way of doing it at home, because, you know, a lot of people don't have turmeric and all the ingredients for curry powders, or to go out and buy red curry paste. You can do it by all means, but here's a little, I call it cheating once in a while. Here's one of my cheats. Here we go. Yellow curry, right in. And I have a little bit of paprika, because I want it to be red. I have a little bit of cayenne pepper. Here we go. And of course, just a light little touch of some dried chilies, not too much. All right. Now, I have a little bit of, oh, look at that pan over there. It's smoking away. This Frigidaire, the cooktop, it really has a lot of heat to it. So I'm just going to turn it down a little bit, because it's a little bit too hot. And I'll just set it off to the side for a second until we finish our curry paste. Now I'm going to add, I have a little bit of the vegetable stock. And this vegetable stock, you know, everyone says to me, do I have to make all these stocks and all this type of stuff? No, of course not. In the grocery store, you can pick it up, little cartons of it, store it. As long as it's sealed, you can keep it into the counter, under your counter, in your pantry. Once you open it, keep it in the fridge. It's good for 2 or 3 days once it's open. All right, so you can see now my spices are all blended, and that's a good thing. So when I add them to my liquid for my sauce, I don't have to worry about clumping and all those different spices falling apart. So we'll just let this sit right here. So when we're ready to do our sauce, we're all set to go. Pan-searing salmon, here we go. I need a spatula. Let's see what we got here. I'll take this one right here. So when we do our salmon, okay, this is always the question. You can see that this is the flesh side up, and this is the skin side. Now, it's been peeled. Okay, there's no skin on it, but you can tell where the skin was. It's much darker on this side. So what we want to do is always flesh side up when we present, okay? So to start off our pan searing, flesh side down, because I'm only going to flip it once. So once we flip it, it's going to be sitting up the right way. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay. So with that, I want the essence of the fresh red pepper. A little spicy. So I'm just going to let it sprinkle right on the top. So when I actually wrap the salmon, it's going to have the scent of the red hot chili to it, but they'll be left behind in the pan, which is just fine. Once again, how do you know when they're ready to flip? If they'll shake loose in the pan, they're ready to go. We'll just go like this. And you have to be gentle. Holding pieces of fish like this is just like holding a baby. You have to show a lot of love, and you have to be very soft with it. There we go. We don't want it to break apart. Now, one of the things, you know, a lot of people ask is, what about, you know, how do you tell if it's cooked and all that type of stuff? Well, salmon, if you overcook it, is very, very dry. So one of the ways you can tell is when you push it down just like this, your salmon, if it pops right back up, is totally cooked. And is there another way to describe how to tell if it's cooked? That's the only one that I know. So right now, we know it's not cooked, and you see when I push it, it's not jumping right back at me at all. So we know that the flesh inside, as we can see, is not totally cooked. So I'm just going to pop these down on my cutting board, just like so. Now, can everyone in the audience smell that? Oh my goodness, it has such a fresh smell to it. Okay, I'm just going to set this off to the side. Now our pancakes. Now what I'm going to do is simply take this, wrap it up. I'm going to put it this side down, sorry, and roll it so it's totally covered, just like so. Okay? Everybody with me so far? Pretty simple. We get different textures. You hear me talk about different textures, different flavors when we're eating products. Well, look at this. You know, we have the texture of the salmon inside, and really what we're doing is we're protecting it a little bit from the heat. But yet, You know, we've got this coconut lime pancake that has a totally different texture from it again. And our last one, just like this, roll it up. And what we're going to do in a few seconds, just before we're ready to serve, you know, I'm going to prepare my sauce, the red curry. I'm going to show you how quickly we can do that. But I'm just going to pop these into the Frigidaire oven, and I have it set at about 325 on a convection bake, and just let these bake. I don't want them to go dry, so you have to really watch them. But 5 minutes in the oven, we'll be all set to go. I'm going to pop these in. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Production assistance provided by these fine companies.
Like I would if I didn't have a roommate.
NyQuil, the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, aching, fever, so you can get the relief you need to sleep and feel better medicine. Now get sinus relief day and night. New DayQuil Sinus and NyQuil Sinus.
Everyday exotic. Kahlua.
Hey, Toronto, how are you eating healthy?
With such a great variety to choose from, it's easy to make healthy choices.
I pack a healthy lunch to work. It saves me time and money.
One day a week, we make a meal together, and the kids love it.
We all live fast-paced lives. More reason to fill up with nature's fast food.
We plan ahead for outings and trips. It's easy to pack healthy snacks.
Healthy eating is good for your heart. To find out more, call 416-338-5656.
I remember my mom brought me a frog balloon.
Vanilla ice cream.
Older girls talking about boys.
Playing with yellow trucks.
I remember my cozy blue blanket.
Making bunnies out of clay.
Squishing paint with my hands.
I remember coming home.
Hi everyone, I'm Leslie Roberts from Global News.
And I'm Damon Allen from the Toronto Argonauts.
We're here to remind you the next time you go shopping, pick up a few extra things for our friends here at the Daily Bread Food Bank for their Winter Harvest Food Drive.
Happy holidays from the Argos.
And from Global News.
Welcome back, everyone, to Who's Coming for Dinner. It is time to remember our salmon's in the oven, all wrapped up in those coconut lime pancakes. Remember that little simple red curry sauce I said we had to do? Watch this. A little bit of brown sugar right inside, and we're going to mix it with some lime juice. Okay, there it goes. Mix it away. Then we're going to add, remember that little cheat red curry we did? Right here. In it goes. Okay, stir it all up. And of course, it's important. The reason I'm adding sugar to this is because of the spice. I always talk about offsetting the two. If you're going to have some spice, you're going to have a little bit of sweet as well. Then we're going to add some cilantro and some light coconut milk. Here it goes. You can see how quickly that sauce comes together. And look at the richness of the color from the brown sugar. All right? So we're just going to turn this on low and let it simmer away just for a little bit. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to serve this salmon with some watercress. And I've got some slices of papaya. And I'm just going to set them into my grill pan and just warm the papaya up a little bit. You see me do this quite often, but the reason for that is because it brings out all the flavor of the fresh fruits. And because I'm serving it as a warm salad with the fish, it makes sense to warm up the papaya. I'm going to warm up a little bit of the fresh pineapple as well. Okay? This doesn't take very long to warm up at all. But you see, I'm just taking the chill out of it, marking it a little bit, and taking the chill out. So there we go. Okay. So this meal all comes together this way. We're going to take some watercress, and we're going to sprinkle it right down on our platter. Now, the other thing that I have to grill just to bring out the flavor a little bit is some shaved fresh coconut. Just going to put it right in the pan, just like that. And I'll turn these a little bit. They'll break on you a little bit, but that's all right. So let's take a look at our Frigidaire oven and just see how the salmons are doing. Oh, we're all set. Now, you may have noticed when I put these in, I didn't oil the pan at all. No need to. The reason for that is when you make a crepe or a pancake like that, you'll notice that I put oil in the pan when I had to do it. And it absorbs the oil. So as they bake, they're drying out a little bit, so they're kicking out the oil. So when I pick these up, I just want to show you. Look at some of the excess oil down on the bottom of the pan. I don't know if you can pick that up on camera or not, but it's totally covered in oil. And so there's no need to add any more. They won't stick. It's going to stay with us. All right? So now, one of the things I like to do is just trim off the excess, just like so, a little bit of the pancake. All right, so this is going to go right on top of here. Is everyone starting to see how this meal is coming together now? All right, I'll trim off the outsides a little bit, and I'm going to put this one right there. Cross it up a little bit. There we go. This one here. Don't have to trim it, we're okay. And then we're going to go down. That one's okay as well. There we are. Now I'm going to go down to the grilled fruits right here. We're going to take these and just put it right over the top of everything. Let's see if I can get it out of the pan. You can see the papaya. And so I'm just going to sprinkle this on. The coconut's in there. Can you see how that coconut has roasted right up? Starts to soften right up. Here we are. Now, once I finish this, we'll go get our dressing, the red curry. Look at this. Okay, that is there. We'll shut our stove, our cooktop off. Here we go. Nice consistency. Not too thin, not too thick, not too spicy. But here we go. You just need a ladle or a spoon. And we're going to drizzle it right over the top because we want it to mix with the watercress. We want it to mix with the salmon. We want it to mix with the papaya right over top. So what we end up with is a beautiful salmon dish, warm salad with a red curry. I hope this becomes one of your favorite. I certainly enjoy it. I hope you do too. Till next time, I'm Jeff Suddaby. Thanks for watching.
Wonderful vegetables and fruit. Have you ever tried papaya grilled like Jeff did, or pineapple grilled? Fabulous. It enhances the flavor. So good for you. Look at the color of that papaya. Orange. The darker the color, the more nutrition. The watercress, deep leafy green, excellent for you. You want a cup of these deep leafy greens for one serving, and then you've got some of the papaya and the pineapple on top of this salad. Delicious. Remember, try to have 2 to 3 servings of vegetables and fruit at every meal. It will greatly enhance your health, and enjoy because they taste great. Wild salmon, it has superior nutritional value. High in omega-3 fatty acids, which are excellent for you, very heart protective. Salmon is high in protein. A serving size of salmon is 50 to 100 grams, same as for meat. So that's 1.5 ounces to 3.5 ounces, 2 to 3 times a day for your protein sources. This meal is full of flavors, exotic flavors, amazing. You're really going to enjoy it, and look at the colors. You can do it at home. Enjoy.